It works.
Yes, sir. It worked.
Sorry.
I was just making sure it was still working, Judge.
Okay. Let's have Mr. Nguolo, in the attorney-client meeting room. Can we have Mr. Nguolo step into the attorney-client meeting room? Join us on Zoom instead. All right, we're on the record, 22 CCR 231278, stated Texas versus Deshonda Moss. Mr. Nguolo, if you'd give the court an update on the case, please.
Yes, Your Honor. I had an opportunity to speak with the state regarding the offer. And I think at this time we're going to decline and make a counter offer to the state.
Okay. All right, well, y'all have got some time to continue your negotiations. Next status is on, next court date is May 23rd for a pretrial conference. So you've got several months to kind of figure things out.
Okay,
If you
thank
need
you,
to
Your
set
Honor.
it for a plea, please contact my coordinator.
Okay, I will, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're free to go.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're on the record, 23 CCR 233932, stated Texas versus Michael Wingard. Mr. Yavarino, if you give the court an update on the case.
Yes, sir. I believe our last conversation with District Attorney's Office is probably looking at a program for Mr. Wingard. I think the DA and I need to get back to the case and discuss it a little further. But that may be an option for my client. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what we talked about.
For a diversion program?
I can't tell you the details, Your Honor. I
You
think
don't
it's
need to give me
more
details. I was just curious if he's entering like a
rehab.
drug court or one of those other
Right,
programs. So,
right. I think that's what it is. I think that's what we're looking at.
all right, next court date is March 28th at 2:30. It's another status.
Okay, we'll try to have it resolved prior to that.
Very good. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 233628, State of Texas versus Alexis Infante. Mr. Lazarine, if you give the court an update on the case.
Judge, we've got this case ready to be disposed, I believe. I'm working with Ms. Chapa on it.
You need a plea date?
I emailed Sarah, Judge, signed dismissal by myself before court. I'm sorry, it was a little after 2.
I forward it to you, Judge.
Okay, it's probably in my inbox. All right, I'll sign the dismissal shortly. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Lazarine, you and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's a way for me to just go back in. I've got one. That was my easy one. I've got another one that requires some more work, but it's Ainsworth, so I'm not sure if she's around.
Just stay right there. We'll pull in Ainsworth next.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have Ainsworth?
I
No,
talked to her yesterday. I talked to her today.
We'll come back to you, Mr. Lazarine. Why don't you reach out to your client?
Yes, sir. Thank you for trying.
Not a problem. Mr. Valdez, are you here for Interiano?
Yes, Your Honor, and I believe she should be in the waiting room.
She's on here with us.
Okay, perfect. Yes, Your Honor, just a quick update on this case.
Hold on, let me get us on the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge.
Hold on. We're on the record in 23 CCR 233789, State of Texas versus Erica Interiano. Go ahead, Mr. Valdez.
Sorry about that, Judge. Yes, Your Honor. Just a quick update. We should be downloading the last few videos today. We had a little bit of trouble accessing the link, but we will review the evidence. I believe the prosecutor had previously sent over the standard offer, so we'll just review everything, make sure all the video or evidence available is there, and then we will communicate with the prosecutor on any counters or possible evaluations.
Next docket is April 16th. It's another status. Hopefully you can better idea of where things are headed by then.
Yes, Judge. And also, Your Honor, I don't know the protocol for the court, but we did file also a blood discovery because blood came back. I believe it was filed correctly. I don't know if if the state has an objection. It's a standard blood discovery order for DPS crime lab, and or if there's a specific hearing that the judge or the court would like us to have to see if it would be signed.
Yeah, you filed the Harris County form.
Oh, I did. Okay, sorry, Judge.
That's okay. Let's you can use the Fort Bend County form.
Okay.
There. It's pretty much the same thing.
Okay, perfect. And I will get with the prosecutor on that. And do I need to reapproach on that, Your Honor?
No, just contact my coordinator and she'll push it through.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Very good. You're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Tang, you can go into the attorney-client meeting room, you and your client both.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We're on the record in 20 CCR 233555, State of Texas versus Feliciano Vargas. Mr. Tang, why don't you give me an update on the case?
Judge, there's some technical problem with Odyssey. I don't know if I don't think it's my account because every time I go to the Odyssey login page, it will say, you know, there's some issues for the documents and they're working on the issue. So when I log in, I was able to log in, but then when I tried to look at the file, it just won't let me see anything. That's just the as far as written report goes.
Well, since you're here in the courthouse, why don't you just go down to the DA's office and see if you can't get a physical copy of it, since it won't let you download it.
Well, this issue has been, I think, at least 2 weeks, if not more. I was thinking if this as holidays, they'll probably do some maintenance. But I'll go down to the DA's office, Judge.
I can jump in. There has been some difficulty with the defense side of Odyssey and a bunch of defense attorneys being able to access the documents and media that is shared via Odyssey. So if you want to come on down to the office, Mr. Tang, I can print you out some copies, or I can email you some copies, whichever you'd prefer.
You can email me,
Okay,
please.
I will do just that.
Okay. All right, taken care of. Mr. Tang, your next court setting is April 16th. It's another status at 2:30. We'll see you then.
Yes, Judge. Thank you. God bless.
Do we have anyone for Rayo?
Morgan just emailed me saying that she just got off the phone with the attorney. He's having trouble getting logged into Zoom.
Okay. We'll come back. Let's move on to Smith.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Afternoon. All right. Well, there we go. Your client's fully connected. We're on the record in 23 CCR 233816, State of Texas versus Joshua Smith. Mr. Azam, why don't you give me an update on the case?
So discovery's been completed, Judge, and we did get an offer from Mr. O'Brien that my client just needs a little bit of time to get an occupational driver's license, and the case is going to be dismissed.
Well, he should have enough time considering his next court date is April 16th. It's another status via Zoom. So I would imagine he would have everything taken care of by then and a dismissal submitted to me.
That's correct, Judge.
All right. Very good then. You and your client are free to go. Thank you for the update.
Thank you. Have a good day, Judge.
I hope you feel better.
I have to go to the urgent care right now, so.
All right.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
You too. Bye.
I don't see Mr. McCann, do you? We'll come back to that case. Let's go on to Mr. Longoria's battle.
Hello, Judge. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right. I think your client is fully connected, so let's get started. We're on the record in 23 CCR 233644, State of Texas versus Craig Battle. Mr. Longoria, would you give the court an update, please?
Judge, yes, I think I received Mr. Battle's appointment back in September. If I'm laughing because I think I had just gone on a 2-week vacation. That same day I called him and said, hey, I'm appointed. So we did get the discovery from the state, and I would think within the next month, 2 months, Judge, I would believe we should be able to come to a resolution.
All right. Well, you can continue your negotiations. Your next court setting is April 16th at 2:30. Hopefully you have a better idea of where this case is headed by then.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Longoria. You and your client are
Thank
free.
All righty.
Walden's next. Rajarnian, how are you?
Good afternoon, Judge. Happy New Year. I'm well.
Happy
How
New
are
Year.
you?
Very good. Let's go ahead and get started. We're on the record in 23 CCR 233741, State of Texas versus Kevin Walden. Why don't you give the court an update, please?
Sure, Judge. I believe the discovery is complete. Mr. O'Brien and I have been talking about this case a little bit, and hopefully we will have it resolved before trial in August.
Well, your next court setting is April 16th. It'll be another status. Hopefully you'll have a better direction or idea of where it's headed by then.
Yes, absolutely, Judge.
Okay. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Spencer.
I don't see his client, Judge.
Mr. Hacker, are you there? Mr. Hacker, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is your client with you?
I have the defendant with me now here in the office.
Yeah, I just sent you a request to start your video.
Here we are.
All right. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228014, State of Texas versus Valencia Spencer. Mr. Hacker, why don't you give me an update?
Well, Judge, we've set forth a couple of ways to get this thing terminated. Because of the facts of the case and the defendant's situation, we believe that the equitable solution would be a $200 restitution with dismissal of the case. We've talked several times for the DAA. We're waiting for my approval from the complainant.
State.
Yes, Judge, I spoke with Mr. Hacker today during court. Last he talked to me, he said, or he counteroffered a $500 restitution in exchange for dismissal, upon which I told him I needed to check with the complaining witness to see if that would be amenable to her before I go ahead and agree to something like that. So while that is a potential path for resolution, I still need to talk to the CW.
And it's also one of the possibilities because the complainant said that that's what she wanted to. In the discovery.
Either way, I need to talk to the complaining witness, Judge.
All right. Talk to your complaining witness. I'll see you at the next court setting, Mr. Hacker, unless, of course, y'all resolve this case before then.
I'd like to resolve it as soon as we can.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. So I'm sure Mr. O'Brien will get on it as quickly as possible.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You're free to go.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's move on. Williams. Mr. Tran, can you hear me?
Yes, Judge, can you hear me?
Yes. We're on the record in 23 CCR 232493, State of Texas versus Joseph Williams. All right, Mr. Tran, if you would give me an update on this case. Last time you were here, y'all were going to enter into a PTI.
We were going to submit a PTI packet, which we did in the interim. Earlier today, I also added an additional letter for their consideration from the defendant's counselor as well. I know that originally it was with a different prosecutor, but now it's fallen into Miss Chapa's hands. And I spoke to her earlier today. She's going to review it and run it up the chain as well.
You have turned in everything for the PTI?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge.
What's the turnaround on that, Ms. Chapa?
I'm finishing up reviewing the packet today, Judge. I've done my case screening, and then I need to meet with my deputy chief about it. But they have a murder trial this month as well, so I'm being aware of that at the same time.
Okay. All right. Well, pretrial is on May 23rd. That's the next court setting. It is in person. Either you're in a PTI or I'll see you at pretrial.
Yes, Judge. And just for your benefit, this one, I believe, will work out either way. It's just an issue of what it's working out for. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Pendleton.
I don't see defendant in waiting room.
Mr. Williams.
All right. I'm here. Can you hear me?
There we go. Is that your client next to you?
Yes, it is,
Yes,
Judge.
Your Honor, I had to get it unmuted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was working.
Head north on
Working
Checkerboard
with
Street
Judge.
towards Spelman Road, then turn right.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right. Good afternoon. Let's get started. We're on the record in 23 CCR 232669, State of Texas versus Jamie Pendleton. All right, Mr. Williams, if you give me an update on the case.
Well, Judge, the update is Mr. Gavin, prosecutor, had made an offer, and we discussed it yesterday or the day before. And I explained to him that my client is not guilty of what was charged, and that he said he's going to get back with the complainant witness and some of the underlying witnesses, and he'd get back with me. So that was yesterday or the day before. So that's where we are, Your Honor.
Okay. So it looks like this case may be headed to trial potentially.
It's a possibility, Your Honor.
Okay. Pre-trial is May 23rd. That's your next court setting. It is in person. So make sure you and your client are present in the courtroom. Trial date will be on June 4th.
Okay, so our motion should be filed before May 24th.
May 23rd, and yes,
May
they should be
23rd,
filed
yeah.
well in advance.
All right, then, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Sterling. All right, we're on the record in 22 CCR 229417, State of Texas versus Byron Sterling. Miss Rupani, why don't you give the court an update?
Good afternoon, Judge. On this case, Ms. Chapa and I just spoke not too long ago, and we are trying to come up with some alternative resolutions. We have a few things in motion, but nothing is set yet. As of now, neither party plans to try this case. We're hoping to resolve it prior to pretrial.
Okay. Well, pretrial is May 23rd, so you've got a couple months, you've got several months to work this out. But of course, if you reach an agreement and you need a plea date well before then, just contact my coordinator.
Sure, I will do that. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you for the update. Your client is free to go. You have the next case on the docket. Hang tight. We're on the record in 23 CCR 233078, State of Texas versus Carlton Foley. Ms. Rupani, give me an update on this case.
Yes, Your Honor. This is one that, if you can recall, HPD did not have the discovery ready for us for a long time. Fortunately for the state, they ended up finding the discovery. They have gone ahead and copied it for me today. So I'm actually in Fort Bend. I will be able to pick it up today. And then hopefully we will be discussing potential offers prior to the next status setting.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Next status hearing is 328 on this case. 2:30. It's via Zoom. So,
Judge, if I may ask, because the discovery is just about to be in my hands for this case, if we need another status setting, I'm hoping we can figure this out. But if we can't, may I request one either prior or have something kind of in the books for that?
you can request another status. So you've got a status on 328 and then pretrial on July 18th. So you've got a lot of time in between. And of course, if you reach an agreement, you can contact my coordinator and set it for a plea. But if you want another status, I'll give it to you.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're on the record 23 CCR 232428, State of Texas versus Latanya Wynn. Ms. Alanis, if you'd give the court an update on this case.
Yes, Your Honor. I've spoken to the Assistant District Attorney on this case, Ms. Chapa, and she is preparing discovery for me. I was appointed to this case last month. And I know it's for a status, but she previously had a different counsel than I did.
When will you get the discovery?
I believe Ms. Chapa is working on that. Hopefully it should be ready by tomorrow. I can swing by tomorrow.
It's ready, Judge, for pickup. I'm going to get it tomorrow.
Okay, very good. All right. May 23rd is pretrial.
Understood.
If you need to set it for a plea before then, just contact Sarah.
Yes, Your Honor. She also has a pending felony associated with this case as well. So I'll go ahead and get in contact with the prosecutor on that to see what the status is on that as well.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Alanis.
Happy New Year. See you soon.
New Year.
All right.
Is Evans not in there?
It says she's joining. Do you want me to bring in
Yeah, bring in
Jackson?
Raina or what's that? Jackson. Bring in Jackson.
Okay.
Mr. Cox, you there? Mr. Cox, are you there? All right, Mr. Cox, log off and then log back in. I got your message that clearly there's some sort of crossed wires. Log off and log back on. We'll come right back to you. Let's go to let's pull the next case in, which is Raina. And we'll come back to Mr. Cox if he's back in the waiting room. Captio, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Very good. We're on the record in 23 CCR 232580, State of Texas versus Armando Reina. Mr. Captio, if you give the court an update.
Judge, we appeared last time and ADA O'Brien stated that this case will be dismissed at the pretrial conference.
You know what? That is correct. It will be dismissed before 4/25/24. All right. Is that still the plan, Mr. O'Brien?
Yes, Judge, that's still the plan.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Captio. Your
Yes,
client.
sir. Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Cox, are you there? Mr. Cox, are you there? All right. Something is wrong. All right, Mr. Cox, I got your note. Can you try a different device? Potentially. It seems that it is your device that may be the issue, because nobody else has had this issue so far. All right, very good. We'll wait. We'll come right back to you. Let's move on to Patel. Was ready in there.
I don't see her.
Okay. Move on to Populus. Mr. Chaco.
I get my video up. There we go.
All right, we're on the record 23 CCR 232011, State of Texas versus Ronnie Populus. Mr. Chaco, if you give the court an update on this case.
Yes, Judge, me and Ms. Chapa have spoken about this case. I've spoken with my client as well. We've gotten a tentative offer that I've discussed with him. Right now, he's not inclined to take it, but we'll continue to discuss and negotiate with Ms. Chapa. I understand that she's also trying to confirm some witnesses. And so I think we'll continue to negotiate. We don't have a resolution currently.
Okay, well, pretrial conference is on 4/25, so it's just around the corner.
Understood, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chaco. Have a good one. You're free to go.
Thank you. Take care.
Move on to Camacho. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228198, State of Texas versus Camila Camacho. Mr. Taylor, if you'd give the court an update on this case.
Yes, good afternoon, Judge. My client, Ms. Camacho, she's here present with us in the courtroom. We have decided that we would like to make a settlement with the state and set this for a plea.
Sarah?
I have 116 at 1:30.
16 at 1:30. Judge, I do have a trial setting that morning.
How about the 9th at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, I can make it the 9th at 9 a.m.
I know we've got a lot set that morning, Sarah. Let's go ahead and just set this one last one, okay?
Okay.
All right. You are set on the 9th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, you may. That's in person. Don't forget.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. You're free to go. Let's take McNary next, and then we'll come back to Mr. Cox, and then we'll go back to the other cases as well.
I don't see their attorney.
Oh, well, then go back to Mr. Cox.
Okay, hear me? Yeah, I don't know what was going on. It was, I know I downloaded and the updated thing of Zoom on the computer right before I logged in, so I don't know if that has something to do with it or not on the computer.
I don't know. Yeah, but I can tell you this, no, it has to be something on your device because nobody had that issue today so far. So it has arisen in the past during dockets, but it would seem strange that you're the only person that's had that issue. But
It's got something. Yeah, it's got something to do with my computer, my desktop. Tell my rest to quit making fun of me. I know what I'm doing.
Let's get started. We're on the record in 21 CCR 221881, State of Texas versus Otesia Evans. Mr. Cox, if you give the court an update.
The update is Gavin has sent over an offer. The offer has been relayed to my client. I've had a few back and forths with Gavin. This is all today, by the way. Talked to my client. We're not accepting that offer. One of the allegations, or I guess probably one of the main ones, is that she has a DWI 3 pending in the 434th. That's set for arraignment on January 22nd. It's just been indicted. Usually, as you know, we try to work something out with that and any pending cases. I know our case is set for a hearing on January the 26th. So right now, we're not accepting the offer. I would prefer to try to get something worked out with the felony prosecutor, but considering the case was just indicted, I haven't had a chance to do that. That's kind of where we are.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you're going to be rushing to try to talk to this. Who's the felony prosecutor?
It's Veronica Alvarado.
Okay.
In the 434th. I've already reached out to her today as well, but I haven't heard back from her. And if we may not have something worked out by then. If not, then I guess we'll have to proceed with the hearing, which will enter a plea of not true to the allegations.
Understand. Okay. Mr. O'Brien, why don't you reach out to the felony prosecutor and see how y'all would like to proceed as well?
I plan to with post haste, Judge.
Very good. All right. Thank you for the update, Mr. Cox. We're going to move on to your next case. 1 second. We're on the record in 23 CCR 233260, State of Texas versus Booker Jackson. All right, Mr. Cox.
An offer has been relayed. I think it's been relayed in the past too, for him to, get the stuff necessary to have a clear license for a dismissal, I believe. Is that right, Gavin?
Yes, I believe so.
I relayed that to my client. I presume he's working on that, but we've talked about this before in the past. But I don't know the status of it now with him.
Okay, well, your client's on here. Mr. Jackson, would you like to say anything, or would you like to talk to your attorney in private?
No, I have an appointment on the 12th to try to see what's going on with that, and I guess to go further with that. I do have an appointment at the DPS on the 12th.
Oh, that's what he's working. It's my understanding. He's trying to work to get his license cleared so he can get the dismissal and such.
Okay. All right. Well, he's got another status on March 28th. We'll hopefully have a better idea of where he is with his license by that date.
Okay.
All right. Very good. You and your clients are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Back to the top of the docket, Daniel Lazarine. Mr. Lazarine, did you have any luck reaching your client?
Judge, I did not. I can, if I may, Your Honor, I corresponded with Angela yesterday, but I misspoke about today because all of my emails and messages went unanswered. I did try to call her earlier today, this morning. Her phone was off. I realized that, and it's off again now. So it's not accepting calls. But I know she knew about this, and so we discussed this yesterday. I can give a little bit more of an update on the case if you're curious, but
well, let's start here. Hold on one second, Mr. Lazarine. State, do I have a motion?
Yes, Judge. State requests that KPS be issued and a bond be set, as it's a failure to appear, not a bond forfeiture.
Okay. Bailiff, if you would call the name Angela Ainsworth. All right. Mr. Lazarine.
No answer at 313, Judge.
Thank you. If you are able to locate your client, file a motion to reinstate. We can keep her on the same docket control order. But I'm granting the motion at this point in time.
Yes,
She's
sir.
not here. I kept looking in the waiting room, trying to see if your client would pop up. And I was going through the entire docket, and your client, I never saw her name came up. So
I understand. I appreciate it. And I do know that, she's got a lot of medical problems. She's on one of these walker things and she's got surgeries scheduled. And that's really the holdup is this case needs to plea, and it will plea. I'm waiting on additional documentation related to that. And she's had a lot of trouble getting it to me. And so I don't know what's going on with her, but anyway, I appreciate you. And I will, if she surfaces, I'll follow that motion to reinstate.
bond is set at 1,500 currently.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Did Mr. Holness ever respond to you, Sarah?
Yes, he's here for McNary.
McNary, okay. Mr. Zuniga, I'm going to wait until you can pull over and park. I don't want you to have an accident while we're conducting a Zoom hearing. I'll say that again, Mr. Zuniga, I'm going to wait until you can pull over and park. I don't want you to have an accident while we're conducting a Zoom hearing. So we'll hang tight for a second. All right, Mr. Zuniga, you parked?
I have to make one turn, Your Honor, and pull into this parking lot right here.
Okay.
When you
I'll hang
pulled me
tight.
in, I just got on the beltway. So I apologize, Judge.
That's
It'll take
okay.
a minute.
It's okay. We'll hang tight. Don't worry about it.
Oh God.
It happens.
I couldn't get on with my phone. And I ended up having to pull it up on my tablet. That's why it took so long for me to get in here. So I apologize. I'm at a red light though right now.
Yeah. We'll hang tight.
But I
till you get
promise
parked.
I'll stop talking. What's that, Judge?
So we'll hang tight until you get parked. It's been a while since you've been in here. I think I can count on one hand in 8 years you've appeared in my courtroom. So you always
I don't go
for Mr. Lane or somebody, one of your associates.
Yes, Your Honor. I've been doing a lot more federal work, and so I get out there when I can on the felony cases, on the misdemeanor cases. Well, I don't have many cases in your court anyway, but I don't get out to Fort Bend as much as I should. So, but it looks like you're doing well.
I am. Thank you. Thank you.
Look, I like that big plush office. That's nice.
Well, thank you, I guess. All right.
Here we go. Green light.
Okay. Go ahead and park.
I'm turning into a parking lot. All right, and I am stopped.
All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 233707, State of Texas versus Sedev Rayo. Mr. Zuniga, why don't you give the court an update on the case?
Yes, Your Honor. We've received discovery. It is complete. Just negotiating terms with the state, and that's kind of where we're at, Judge. I mean,
Okay.
I've had an opportunity to review the discovery. I probably need a little bit more time to review it with my client. Short of that, we're moving it along, Judge.
All right. Well, the next status hearing, which is on April 16th at 2:30, hopefully we can get a better idea of where this case is headed at that time.
We will have a definite answer before that, Judge.
Okay, very good then. Well, thank you, Mr. Zuniga, for the update. Happy New Year.
I apologize, Your Honor. The update took a shorter amount of time than waiting for it to happen. So
That's usually the way it works. So that's all right, though. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you.
Let's bring in Taylor next. I don't see Mr. McCann. Who's holding this on again? Is that McNary?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Taylor just dropped off. Mr. Holness, you there?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. I'm present.
All right, very good. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228336, State of Texas versus Breland McNary. Mr. Holness, if you give the court an update on this case.
Yes, so previously I had been in contact with the previous prosecutor on this matter, trying to see if we could work out a slightly more favorable offer. It's my understanding that Miss Chapa has just been assigned. Probably December is when I found out. So still need a chance to kind of speak to her to just come to a more, I guess, more beneficial resolution for my client. But I think we can get there. But as far as discovery and things of that nature, I believe everything has been shared.
Okay. Next status will be on March 28th at 2:30. Hopefully you can have a better idea of where this case is headed at that time. And then, of course, pretrial on July 18th.
March 28th and July 18th?
That is correct.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Chopper, would it be okay to try to get in contact with you after?
Yes, sir, that's fine. I had emailed Mr. Danuna back in the middle of December. We had talked about a mitigation packet and asked him to send me one before the new year. I was waiting on that, but there's an offer on the file.
Okay, well, just will be a better time to call you, and we could just discuss this more in detail.
You can call me after docket.
Okay, thank you. I will do that.
Mhm.
And may we be excused,
Yes, you may.
Your Honor.
You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's move to Patel Nazar. I do not have him in the waiting room. Bailiff, is there anybody else in the court? Sarah, is anybody else in the courtroom?
No. He's the one who approved travel for his nephew's funeral in India.
Got it. Okay. Let's move this date then. Comes back, what date?
The
January?
motion says the 29th.
Put him on a status on February 13th. Okay. And then we have Mr. Taylor. Mr. Taylor keeps dropping in and out. Mr. Taylor, can you hear me? Mr. Taylor, can you hear me?
Mr. Taylor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Taylor, your attorney,
Taylor, your attorney.
do you have
Yes.
something running in the background? Do you have the YouTube channel running in the background, Mr. Taylor?
No, sir.
Okay. Your attorney's not here. He's not present in the Zoom waiting room, and he's not in the courtroom. He has not contacted the court, so I don't know if he's going to appear or not. Court started a year ago. Have you spoken to him?
No, sir. I believe that he, I was reset for the 17th, and I think that's the only thing that he knows about. Because we had court on the 3rd, and we didn't, like, neither one of us knew about this.
Okay.
I just have, the bonding company just had to inform me yesterday, because I would have missed this too.
All right. Then I'll see you and your attorney on the 17th. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're free to go.
All right. Thank you.
That concludes docket. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Y'all have a good one.
You as well.